You believe in me too.
Probably you know about this song.
Okay, tell you what, come down to Davidson and Mound. It's a gas station, and I'll meet you in the gas station. It's I think it's they changed it to mobile. It's a mobile gas station at Davidson and Mound. My decision to becoming a police officer was gradual. I didn't just wake up one morning and say I want to be a police officer. I knew that personality-wise, it was something that I could do. The job is a good percentage of dealing with people, and from work experiences to actually living in the city, I've dealt with different types of people. So I knew that my personality would be one that would be an advantage to the job. So there was really no detractions. And then I've always lived a clean life, and hung around clean people, so no type of peer pressure or anything that would detract me. Living in the city, being from here, you have a duty to want to serve your own people. The people here are the ones who need the help, who at the time needed the help, still need the help. And as far as the essence of the job, certainly this is one of the places where if you're really doing the job to be a police officer, from every aspect of the job, then this is certainly the place to be. And that was my mind frame when I went into it. So hands down, absolutely my first choice. We use this radio on this channel, and on this radio, we're wired up with the district. And I like to have this because just in case I'm away from the car and something happens, if I call for help on this one, everybody's coming. If I call help just for this one, then only the guys in our unit are monitoring, and they may or may not be close. The city is 90% good, hard-working people, and just a small micronism of people cause 90% of the problems. So certainly for people who don't live in the city, Detroit can be a misunderstood place because the only perception of the city is what they see through media. And ever since, from the riots back in '67 on up to the issues with the fires in '84 and the Devil's Night issues we've had with fires, the city has always had a negative image from those who aren't here. So that's the only perception they will have. But being in the city, we know we have a good city. I have to conduct myself a certain way even when I'm off, because again, I'm held to a different standard. So something that happens involving a regular person as opposed to happening to me are gauged on two different levels. A lot of times people think we can do whatever we want when we want. Not quite that simple. We have to be governed by rules of search and seizure, search warrants and such. So just giving us information on something that happened, we just can't go busting in people's houses or just arresting somebody. So we can't do anything we want to. Sometimes people think that we have information at our fingertips. Sometimes yes. Obviously running the plate gives us certain information that we need to know, but that doesn't give us the person's whole life story. And a lot of times you'll have friends or someone ask you to run the plate. You just can't do that. You just can't abuse that. And it's actually a crime to do that. It's against the rules. That we're all the same. A lot of times, if you're in a situation, a lot of times people will say, well, y'all do this, y'all do that. And then I'll say, oh, so you put me in a category. So, and then I'll take that person. For example, if I'm dealing with a black male and he says, y'all, and then I'll say, oh, so you put me in a category. Then I'll say, okay, you're a black male. So that means you're a gangbanger, you smoke weed, you carry your gun, you don't work, and you have 10 kids by 6 baby mamas. And then he'll get offended and he'll say, that's not me. Well, that's the category that young black males are in. So you're an individual, I'm an individual. I just happen to do a certain job. So that's a portion of some of the misconceptions. We need to realize that we're 90% our own worst enemy. So a lot of times, and we're talking about Detroit, which is a predominantly black city. So a lot of times we like to blame everyone else under the sun. Oh, it's the government's fault. Oh, it's the white man's fault. Oh, it's somebody else's fault. We're 90% our own worst enemy, because if your kids don't come from Fenton and Howell and Livonia and carjack us here, we do it ourselves. So if you're carjacked on 7 Mile and Greenfield, pretty strong chance that that person was black and lives in the city and didn't come from Livonia to carjack you. So I think we need to get over this us versus them mentality that we have and start from within. And then once you start from within, then things will grow from there.